Journalist Iqbal Wahhab was forced to resign from Tandoori magazine for calling Indian waiters miserable gits. Now he's determined to get his own back, building a posh Indian restaurant like no other.
Cinnamon Club is going to be a papadom-free zone. When you walk into an Indian restaurant, pad of lager, papadoms, chutneys. I want to get away from that.
It'll cost Iqbal nearly £3 million to set up.
I straight away said, are you mad?
We follow Iqbal to India as he tries to recruit a team of top chefs. As he's floored by a 6-month delay.
He's now exposed the floor opening here and found it's not solid.
And when opening day arrives, and there's still no gas.
It's a test of our characters and see how much we are able to deliver.
I'm Mr. Smart Aleck. I can do anything. I tell the chef how to cook, tell the manager how to serve, tell the builders how to build, tell these guys how to make their silver, how to export it. You watch.
The Cinnamon Club is supposed to have a grand opening in October to catch the important Christmas trade.
This is going to be the major restaurant opening of the year, and we will attract, hopefully, a good crowd of people, but who knows where Madonna's going to be in London, who knows who's going to speak to her about this, who knows if George Michael's going to be around.
The restaurant will be housed in an old library in Westminster, which will have to be completely transformed.
You'll have 2 liveried valet parkers and a doorman staying outside, so you're not going to miss what this place is. It's going to look stunning from outside. As you drive up, you just chuck your keys at somebody and they take your car away. So you walk up and you'd come to here and then you'd book in, and if you were going for a drink in the bar, you'd be escorted through to the bar. If you're a club member, you go through to the club room. I am worried that I've never built a restaurant before. So if someone says something takes 10 weeks and I say 6, it's not like bargaining in a Rajasthani street market over a price of some bangles. It's something that physically needs to be done. And if it can't be done in that time, then we have to just hope that there are ways around it. I don't know what those ways are yet, but I'm sure I'm going to find one.
Okay, so
the first of teams of consultants arrive to sell their fancy wares.
We've got glass front to the urinals, which
glass for the urinals is going to be illuminated, so you'll get a glow coming from that glass.
What, from behind it?
From behind it, yes.
Whose idea was this?
Nice soft glow. I'm a bit like that, yes.
Yeah. You got one of these in your home?
With edged glass and light behind it, it gives a beautiful quality of colour.
Yeah.
This is toward the sort of greeny, turquoisey blue.
And people always judge places on toilets, don't they? It's an important area.
The next consultant is Iqbal's mum.
That looks like the
Do you want
old...
your coffee?
Tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
What we want to do is make the place feel really special.
You know, first-time venture to go for something as huge as this. I mean, this is a very, very big space. Be one of the biggest restaurants in London.
How will you cope with all the size designers and what?
We went through quite a few different kinds of design phases with the designers about how they thought it'd look, how I thought it'd look, and then some things that they came up with some colours which I didn't like. Even like chairs are such an important thing.
I do hope and pray that it all works out according to your plans and dreams, but it looks very good.
Yeah.
It looks very good.
A former journalist, Iqbal is doing it all to get back at his critics.
The famous thing that I said was that you walk into an Indian restaurant and no matter how posh, more than likely you're going to be served by a miserable git.
As editor of Tandoori magazine, his outspoken article upset Britain's 25,000 Indian waiters. He even received death threats following his remarks and was forced to resign from his job.
I got fed up with telling Indian restaurants the way I thought that they should go forward. And if you don't want to listen to it, I'll do it myself. And that's how we've got to where we are today.
Iqbal decides his Indian should mimic the best French restaurants. Next consultant is famous chef Eric Chavot, who has 2 Michelin stars.
Say in a French or European meal, we start with bread, we start with poppadoms. Setting up the wrong tone. So I want to try and get away from having poppadoms at the start of a meal and see if we can come up with something new.
Poppadom, yeah. To me,
it's really difficult to find an alternative and to break the mindset of people eating poppadoms at the beginning.
From the word poppadom, from the word bread to the word pudding, everything's got to be on the same level.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now we got that poppadom here and we got no pudding here.
Yeah.
And so we're going to bring is là, okay, how do we open and how we close the concept?
In Indian restaurants, only 10% of diners eat a dessert. Iqbal wants his customers to buy 3 courses. Eric has some ideas.
This one I'm gonna...
Look good, isn't it?
Iqbal decides Eric will be the best person to help plan the menu for the Cinnamon Club.
Well, I don't know Indian food. I mean, as you know, when we first met, the only Indian food I know is your corner curry shop.
Yeah.
And you want to break away from that. So, yeah, let's go to India and let's sit on that.
There's a problem before they go to India in search of food and chefs. Iqbal hasn't received the money from his investors.
I have to go back in there today and talk to the builders and explain to them why there is a financial shortfall and stop them walking off. If I'm short of money, I say, good luck, Iqbal, and off they'll be. So I've got to go in there and convince this guy that the money's going to be there. So it is a bit tense at the moment.
But the builders are not convinced, and the next day they down tools. 2 weeks later, they're still not back.
The situation at the moment is we've stopped works at the Cinnamon Club. Unfortunately, it was basically mutually agreed that we should stop works until such time as the finance went in.
How long do you think it would take them to go from Harrow to Sutton?
Finally, Iqbal receives a call with news from the investors.
Oh, yeah, he's arrived. Excellent, all right. All right, thanks, bye. I was worried that the couriers hadn't turned up for John Turner, but it's now like time's quickly. But as he was calling me, the courier actually turned up, so it's on target.
He's raised the first $1 million. Work goes on. Iqbal wants the best for his restaurant, so he travels to India in search of spices.
Well, we're walking into the biggest spice market in Asia, and this is where we're going to be able to find all the really good, earthy spices that you just can't get in the UK. We're going to get them sourced specially for us. It's never been done before.
But as he arrives to see the goods, there's a power cut. Iqbal likes the spices, but decides not to buy when he sees the packing process.
And there's, you see, like,
Iqbal has brought his Michelin-starred consultant to help poach one of India's top chefs. Together, they check out Vivek Singh.
Hi, Eric. I wanted Eric to give me tips on how to survive in London.
Do you think he's going to avoid that so much?
No.
It's like this up there.
After.
Don't lie. You got. But he's got so much to look forward to.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to make mistakes in London. There are no slow starts there. If in the first few weeks or the first few months you make mistakes, you ruin, because London is absolutely unforgiving. Take a London.
I can have a sniff of that.
He's going to bring India into the cinnamon club.
The first time I had this, I just thought, my God, what an amazing texture, what an amazing flavour, what an amazing look. Now it's back to London, back to the brief, back to shouting at builders, like moaning at getting told off by my accountant for spending too much money, moaning for my investors for not being open on time. I've got all that to look forward to, and maybe I won't go back.
Looks so impressive. Yeah.
Back in London, more consultants arrive for the menu covers.
This would appear in a calves leather, cream calves leather.
Yeah.
Very
calves, not goats?
Calves or goats, but it's probably going to be calves.
Depends on cost.
Yes, it's a cost issue, really.
So goats would have cost what? How much compared to?
We're talking 25% difference.
Right, so that's like going from like £100 a menu down to £75 a menu.
Or more like 100 to 125.
Okay.
That's a lot more expensive than goats.
So goats 100.
Goats 125.
125.
Yeah.
These are 100.
Yeah.
So that's £10,000 is going to cost me to have a menu.
10,000 or 15, depending on how many you want.
Work has restarted, but there's a setback.
We are having problems getting our contractors back.
Does that have a knock-on effect?
The October opening is now out of the question.
What Jason is now telling me is that unless a miracle occurs, it's going to be mid to late November that we open. That's deeply frustrating for me because December is worth 2 Januaries in terms of monetary value to us. Also, from a financial point of view, be up and trading and paying back all the loans and bringing in revenue to sustain the level of borrowings that we've had against this business.
Chef Vivek has bought his ticket and signed his contract. He's even bringing his wife, Arshana. They've never been to England before.
We're going to be relocating to London very soon, beginning of next month. And we've been told by everybody, every possible person, that it's going to be extremely cold there, and we're looking for something really warm.
This is not for extreme.
Would you have anything absolutely very heavy? And
no, it doesn't sell in India. I tell you, yes, it will do.
I think it's a little tight.
It's slightly girlish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's for you.
That's for me.
Oh, that's nice, huh?
Looks like brother sisters.
Are you sure you got all the keys?
I think so, yeah.
We're quite excited about the fact that we're moving on to London, which is supposed to be one of the most happening cities in terms of, not just in terms of food, but in terms of just about everything. I am pretty excited about the whole thing. Archana, are you?
Yes, of course I am.
What are you going to be doing there?
Shopping. Shopping and going around by Eurorail, seeing the whole of Europe, Switzerland.
She thinks it's going to be a long holiday. A 3-year long holiday, that's what she thinks it's going to be.
Building is going full tilt, but there's a major structural problem.
We had a wall built, finished, but a few days later,